Hello everyone and welcome to the episode of Boom Rookies presented by ESPN. I am Matt Bungard and something special for our first episode of 2024. Nick Campton is not here, but I've managed to fill his boots with not one but two WWE superstars. First of all, Grayson Waller, welcome.
I'm a bit gutted. I was hoping it was going to be Campo, so I guess this is the lesser of two evils.
I was wondering how long it would take you to insult me, and the answer was 5 seconds.
I didn't even notice this till right now. You're wearing a Baltimore Orioles hat.
Yes, I saw that you're from Maryland, LA Knight. So
Are you trying to get points right now?
Absolutely not. You can ask him. I've been
He's
a Baltimore
a
fan for
Ravens
15
fan
years.
too. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the proclivity for Baltimore?
First Madden I bought, Ray Lewis was on the cover.
Fair enough.
And then got hooked
enough.
ever since. So yeah,
Whoa, what's going on here? I don't like this friendship that just suddenly
I'm just asking
formed out of
questions.
nowhere.
Just asking
I
questions.
can see some electricity in the room, and I don't like
Familiar
it.
ground. You
Yeah.
jealous?
he's a bit jealous.
No, of course not. Never.
It does seem like you're a bit jealous.
Slightly, right?
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. We'll get you
Just
back
because
in.
the Ravens are doing well and the Eagles are out now, I think that's the
true.
issue.
Yeah, a tough day for you because obviously you've had a bunch of media stuff here and you weren't even able to watch. Although I guess in hindsight it's probably better that you couldn't watch your Eagles play today.
It's for the best because I probably would have thrown my phone at the wall.
Yeah, that's very
Did
true.
they lose?
Oh, they got
32-9.
smashed.
It wasn't even close.
Boy.
Yeah.
That's beyond the loss.
Not great.
Got trounced.
All right, so boys, you've been on a whirlwind tour for Australia the last couple of days promoting Elimination Chamber coming up in Perth. But this
Did we
morning,
even tell everybody who I am? I feel like he got an intro and I didn't. Hi, everybody. If you don't know, you should. My name's LA Knight, and I'm here. What's the name of the show?
Boom Rookies.
Yeah, Boom Rookies?
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah.
With an M.
Yeah.
Boom Rookies. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
You can use that as a that's
Definitely, that could be the new
clip right
intro
there.
for the podcast. Well, I was going to introduce you, then you complimented my hat, and we got sidetracked.
know,
so-
yeah.
You were flirting. Be honest.
Yeah,
You
it's
started
true.
flirting with each other, and then
You're just
everything
caught in the
went
middle
off the
here.
rails.
Yeah, it did. It's
Don't.
Will you calm down?
Yeah.
Sorry.
He just doesn't like it when he's not the center of attention. Yeah,
Look at
you
that
know
shirt,
that. Yeah. So this morning you guys headed out to Penrith, gave a championship belt to the Penrith Panthers. Matt.
He enjoyed that a lot.
So obviously, for new listeners to the show, Matt is a diehard Sydney Roosters fan. Doesn't hate I wouldn't say the Panthers are that high up on your hated teams, but obviously you're not a fan. What would you have done this morning if it had to have been hypothetically like the Bulldogs or the Rabbitohs?
I'm not there.
You just
and I'm definitely
don't go?
not. Can I say?
Rabbitohs?
Yeah.
That's his favourite team, the
Are
Rabbitohs.
Are they actually called Rabbitohs?
Yeah, so that's the team that Russell Crowe owns. That's the team that I go for. So they got
Is
their
it like
name.
a rabbit, and you guys are just adding an O?
So what happened was they're named after these dudes that used to. So Redfern's
I'm
the
clearly not Australian.
No, so they're named after these dudes that used to sell rabbits in the streets in like the 1900s in the Redfern, which is the suburb they're from, and they'd yell "Rabbit-o" when people walk past to try and get them to come buy rabbits off them, and that's where it came from.
Wow.
One of the most unique nicknames in the world of sports. So
I
the
thought
mascot
it was just one of these slang terms.
Yeah, so it's weird, right? Because the mascot is a rabbit, but they're named after dudes who killed and sold rabbits.
Fair
So
enough. Okay.
yeah, it doesn't make a great deal of
the
sense.
The mascot's a rabbit. It's not the guy.
No,
with
it's
the
not
rabbit.
imagine if
That
it was
would
a
be
guy.
so much better. Just
Oh.
a guy with a dead
It
rabbit.
should just be a guy in a butcher's
Yeah.
uniform with fake blood all over him. That'd scare some people. But yeah,
A
so that's
rabbit skin cap. What are we doing?
yeah, so that's Matt's least favorite team. So can we call you a fan of the Rabbitohs now? If it will make Grayson Waller upset.
I mean, just by proxy, sure. Why not?
Absolutely.
Can I say, because LA put me on it today. We had to get some photos. It's media.
Yeah,
I'm a professional.
of course, you
I'm
are.
a company guy.
Yeah.
They give me a nice jersey with my name on it. I put it behind me. Okay. Then we're about to take the photo. Old mate here starts going, "Oh, don't you want to get your jersey out for the photo?"
Show off your gift.
All of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, actually, yeah, you should." Now I'm forced to actually hold it up in front of everyone.
That is great.
I'm worried Nick Politis is going to give me a call and like tell me
You'll
my
be out.
membership is
You'll be
revoked.
persona non grata at the.
You got to be, you got to show some gratitude.
You
for your
didn't.
gifts.
All of a sudden, I think it was just against me. Make my life difficult. But the whole time I was thinking about the 2003 grand final. I'm thinking of Sattler and that tackle, and
I
it was
thinking about
tough.
that too, actually.
Yeah, one of your favourite grand finals, I'm sure.
One of the best.
So, do you have any rugby or rugby league knowledge at
Not
all?
an ounce. No.
Not an ounce.
No.
Has he tried to convince you to come to Las Vegas with us next year for the NRL?
No.
Would
but
you
that
like
is
to
an
come?
Interesting proposition.
I don't want him there. I don't want to hang out with LA Knight. He can.
It's an interesting proposition. I don't know. It's not as long as the cricket games, is it?
No.
All right.
Oh, LA's not happy with cricket.
5 day long.
He's a big
there.
Sydney Sixers fan though now.
Yeah, so if he tried to introduce you to like the 2020 cricket, which only goes for like 3 hours, that might have been more palatable. But he tried to get you in on Test cricket, which is a 5-day affair.
Well, I'm just confused as how there's a 3-hour version, a 5-day version. That's a vast canyon
Okay,
difference.
say it like this. So it's like if it was like baseball, it'd be like having the game, but it's only 3 innings long.
Right. But why would they do that?
Because it's like quicker, shorter.
Game.
Well, why do you? It's a 5-day game. You just have to do it. It's what we do.
It's true. That is how it works. But yeah. So Not a big cricket fan, but could become a rugby league fan.
I'm trying. I think that's probably an easier sell.
I think so. So just on with you two. So you both kind of took the sort of the long road to get to where you are now. Not similar roads, but the long road. So how much is like the journey to where you've got now? Like how much has the journey made you appreciate the destination more?
Well, I don't think I can speak on it as much as LA can, but I think my journey is more coming from Australia and trying to get noticed in America, which for any type of athlete or personality in Australia, that's kind of the market you're trying to get into. That's where the money is. That's where the eyes are. So for me, my whole journey was trying to get noticed, trying to get people to pay attention. I had to go on reality TV and starve for 30 days for anyone to really pay attention to my wrestling type of thing. So I got very lucky, but it wasn't necessarily years-wise. It was more like the struggle of even getting people to pay attention in any way.
Sure, I guess you could say the same for me, and that's about all we got to say, right?
Yeah.
No, it's. I mean, it's kind of the same name of the game as far as like getting people to take notice and things like that. It's a strange, wacky business. You do get noticed for doing more outside things if you get on a reality show or you happen to do something else that gives you notice or notoriety. I never really gained that anywhere, as most people don't. You kind of go through the old school way, and for me, it was just kind of like, I know I've got something to offer here. I know I've got something different, and I've got something that can resonate and work as toot I've shown over the past year.
Absolutely.
And so for that, it was just a matter of just getting that door open, whether somebody was going to open it for me or if I could just kind of shove my toe in the thing or whatever. You talk about appreciating the journey, and yeah, I appreciate the hell out of the journey, because when I look back at it now, I'm like, God damn, man, you did not stop, you did not quit, you did not know how, and in a lot of ways, I enjoyed the struggle in some strange way.
Of course, yeah, I think that we've talked about this before. Like, you can't really have success without struggle, or there's almost a part of your brain where it doesn't feel like you've earned it if it comes too easily.
I think some people do, they get that, and I don't think they know how to appreciate it or how to really cultivate anything out of it.
Yeah, I think you see with athletes, you even see maybe some people in NXT who come in and straight away get something, and then all of a sudden when they're not getting it all at all, you see their mood change, you see their demeanor change, you see the work change. All of a sudden they're not putting in the same level of work. They're not appreciative of it. So in some ways, I think it's a blessing sometimes to get through the struggle and get it first.
Look at how much he's on the same wavelength with me right now.
I don't like that we're becoming friends.
Yeah.
Hey, we both had the same struggle. We both came from the Dural Country Club to get where we are.
That's true.
It's odd. I don't remember seeing you.
So,
yeah, you didn't introduce yourself to me. You were too much of a big deal. You had your own personal
that's
locker
fair.
room.
Right.
You know?
So, LA, I once watched the first time I ever watched Matt wrestle, like Grayson, sorry, he was Matty Wahlberg back then, was at the Walleye Creek Rowing Club. And the roof was so low that there was this tag team of high flyers. They got up on the turnbuckle to do their finisher, but then they realized if they were going to jump, they were going to hit the roof. So they got down under the second rope and had to do it from there. Where's the funniest or like strangest place you've ever had to perform in your many years?
Well, there was one time in this sex dungeon where I
I was ready for that story.
I was too.
I was locked in.
No, I don't. I was fortunate enough to start in a place that was very, very professional. They had a WWE contract for development probably a year before I got there. So I mean, I started training in WWF rings, WWE rings now, WWE rings, WCW rings, all that kind of stuff. So I was very fortunate in that regard. But there was a wrestling school in my hometown where I'm from in Maryland, and I went to go visit that because I was getting impatient. I wasn't going to be able to move to Ohio where I started until months later, and I was like, well, maybe I could just go in and get my feet wet. I went and gave that place a visit. Good Lord, was that culture shock. It was like all I knew was WWF and WCW before then. So I just knew big guys and music and glitz and glamour and microphones, all that stuff. I watched these guys in just that were just generally shapes, not in shape, just in weird random outfits. There's no music, there's no fanfare. They come out there. The ring was carpeted, so there was no canvas, and the ceiling was so low. You're talking about how low that ceiling was. This ceiling was so low that if you picked a guy up for a body slam, his feet would hit the ceiling. And the ring was pushed up against two walls. I said, there is no way that I'm starting here or I'm doing this. So I held out for the next few months until I could move out to Ohio, and that's where I started. But that's probably the goofiest place that I've seen, but thankfully I was fortunate enough to not end up in any of those places.
I think, what would be the worst move to do or take on a carpeted ring?
or any type of drag, like if someone, even just someone pulling you, the carpet
Giving a baseball slide would be absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Rug burn, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that the canvas is that forgiving either. When
No. But
yeah.
I think carpet's certainly a level above. We've talked a lot about the footy and about you guys. But,
Footy, mate.
The big reason you guys are here is, of course, Elimination Chamber coming up in Perth. Grayson, you got
so
on.
why are you distracting us with all this other stuff?
Sorry, I thought you. Oh, sorry.
It's going to be in Perth here in a month. Hold on, I'm busy with this. Tickets are still available. Ticketmaster, yeah, go get you some and come on out and see the biggest show of the year.
Should I just ask you the same questions that everyone else has asked you?
Yeah,
15
sure, why
times
not?
today?
Yes, they're not friends anymore. They're fighting.
I would love to answer the same questions 50 times.
So, Grayson, you got on TV a few months ago and basically talked about your desire for them to bring a show to Australia. How much individual credit are you taking for that announcement?
Let me say this. I'm in London, and and in front of that
No,
crowd
you're actually in Sydney right now.
and John Cena, I say I want WrestleMania in Australia. Now, we didn't get WrestleMania, but if I look at it, we got one premium live event in Australia. How many premium live events have been announced in England? 0, which means 1 Grayson, 0 John Cena. I think it's all because of me.
Just beating England again. It's what we do.
Literally every single time in anything we do, we beat England, which is a great thing.
It's pretty great. Do you hate Canada as much as we hate England?
Do I hate Canada? No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know.
The
I
flights,
hate it personally? I don't know. Maybe some people
the
do.
flights there suck. Vancouver
They
was
do.
terrible. It
They
was
do.
freezing.
They do.
So
I hate Toronto Airport. I'll give you that.
So what are you most looking forward to about coming to Perth and doing the show in this,
I
in
thought
this
you just
massive
meant in
stadium?
general. I'm looking forward to sleep. But what am I looking forward to the most for coming to Perth and Elimination Chamber?
Yeah.
Well, look, man. I mean, you're talking about what? This is the first PLE here, first real WWE event here since 2018.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you're talking about a rabid audience, a big fan base, because when you go to these places that we don't normally get a chance to go to, man, the most passionate fans come out. They're going crazy. They're booing, they're cheering, they're doing whatever they're feeling. They're chanting, all that kind of stuff. So you get in that atmosphere, and it's going to be a special night for sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned the fans there. Like Matt, Grace and I talk about this all the time, and how sort of there's sort of an element of seriousness to American sports fans when they're at games that we don't really have here. We're a lot more sort of jokey with one another. We're a lot more relaxed.
Well, yeah. When I was talking to Earl earlier, he actually told. I'm sorry, Grayson. He actually
that's my
told
middle
me,
name. That's my middle name. That's
Yeah.
my great grandfather. I'd like you to respect him, please.
Grayson Earl
Please
Waller.
respect Earl.
He was a great man. Yes, he didn't have a job. He was homeless, but he was still a great man.
But yeah, he was.
He actually
describing
sold
some
rabbits on the
same
side of the
thing.
road.
Rabbit-o!
Rabbit-o.
So the heckling is a little bit different. Australian fans are a little bit more jokey.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get much of that because everyone loves you so much. But
You never know. Down here, the toilet could flush the
But
other
we-
way for all we know. You never know.
we do have some exclusive footage from when you threw out the first pitch at a game at Met Stadium earlier last year.
Yeah.
Just play that for me, and we'll just get your thoughts on it.
Who's this loser? Where's Grayson Waller? We want Grayson Waller! We want Grayson Waller! We want him now!
Who are these J-Brons?
Look at this big jerk. Oh, nice toss! You dickhead!
That's fantastic.
That's the best video I've ever seen.
That's actually phenomenal. And it was a hell of a nice toss, you dickhead. Yeah.
Did you throw a strike?
Right on in there. Yeah,
Good,
I did.
good.
I mean, it might have been a little high, but
That's all right, we'll give it to
look,
you.
my main thing was don't throw it in the damn dirt because I was like, okay, well, we'll get in there. They'll give me a chance to warm up, right?
Yeah.
No warm up, no nothing. It was just go ahead and throw the pitch. So, you're throwing it from all the way up on the mound, and I'm like, all right, well, let me just get this thing in there and not go in the dirt. I just don't want to Baba Booey it. I don't want to 50 Cent it.
No, you can't 50 Cent it. It's amazing. That guy made so many great songs, but the first thing I think of is that horrible pitch.
I think that a lot of people do too.
That's crazy. You can't do it. So you obviously laughed at that, and I knew you would. I knew you'd handle it. Who do you think?
I can appreciate the candor.
Who do you think is going to be rattled the most? Who do you think has the potential to get rattled the most by the Australian crowds if they're copping heckling like that?
No way. No, you're kidding yourself here. I think someone like Logan Paul would struggle. As much as he loves the people booing,
He's never been called a Gronk before.
Australians can be
Wait a
very
minute, I thought
specific.
you guys were good friends. What are
We
you
are,
doing
but
now?
that's why we're such good friends that I'm honest about it.
know?
He's gonna
Okay,
prepare him.
fair
He's gonna
enough.
prepare
You
him
know
for
what?
it.
That's a good friend.
Yeah.
You are a good friend.
I just think, Australians are very, especially if you think of the cricket and stuff, when we heckle, like, we really go in on something that's going to hurt your feelings. Like,
true.
Australians do their research with their heckling. It's not just like, oh, you suck. Like, it's something about your family life. It could be anything.
Yeah, so Logan Paul, look out. Australian crowds coming for you.
I'll try and tell them.
You can help him acclimatise.
Come on, guys.
You can
it's
teach
okay.
him all the words.
Yeah, I'll just call him a dickhead every time I see him and see how he reacts.
It'll help. It's
I
tough
think that'll
love.
go down
It's
well.
tough love. Speaking of tough love, you've got a great story that you told me the last time I saw you.
Sex dungeon again?
No, not that one. It's a different
So
one.
It's a
you
tough
obviously
love
work
anymore.
really hard, and every time I talk to you, you're training your ass off in the gym and all that stuff. But you had an incident a couple of weeks ago.
I don't want to tell the story, but I will for you because you're
Thank
a good
you.
mate, Bungard. I hate saying that. So the story is basically I'd been on a pretty long tour. I was doing some NIL stuff, going to different colleges. I think I was away for about 12 days, and I finally got to SmackDown. This was my last day. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, catering at WWE is pretty nice. There's lots of nice food. We're obviously athletes. They got grilled chicken and everything, but they had they had a chocolate cake this day. And it looked like a Woolworths chocolate cake.
Okay. Oh,
like it looked delicious. And I was like, you know what? My reward for this 12 days is I'm going to have this chocolate cake. So I had my match and I came back to catering and no one was really around. So I'm like, awesome, I can sneak this cake and no one will judge me. So I put the knife into the cake and in walks Bobby Lashley. Now, for anyone who doesn't know Bobby Lashley, type him in. This man is a physical specimen, a huge human being, just jacked to the gills. And me and Bobby hadn't really spoken much. And he walked in and just looked at the cake for a good 15 seconds, like a real awkward amount of time. And then, this breaks my heart. I don't like bringing it up. Then he looked up at me and just said, "You really going to have that?" And as I kind of went, I had a tour, and he just walked away.
What'd you do?
I threw the cake in the bin. And I haven't gone near the dessert at catering since. Because what am I supposed to do in front of Bobby Lashley?
of all
that physical
people,
How do you
specimen?
know it wasn't a proud ask? Maybe he was like, you know what? Good for him.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't. But when I looked in his eyes, it looked like judgment. It looked like full judgment.
Maybe he was judging himself. Like, man,
Like-
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I wish I thought like that, but my brain told me immediately that he was making fun of my my physique. So I did have to finish cutting the cake because I'd already gone in.
That's
but
fair.
he went in the bin. Unfortunately, I'll never know what it tastes.
You didn't
like.
go back and fish it out
See
of the
what I
bin
mean?
later.
Now, the audience at home cannot see what I'm talking about. There's a place called Peto on the screen.
Petco.
No, it's Pet-O, isn't it?
Pedo.
P-E-T-O.
It's I don't know.
I swear. It's,
Yeah, maybe you're right.
look at it. Now, see? That's why I thought when you said Rabbit-O, it was going to be something like that.
Oh.
Pedo. I've never heard of it.
Now
This
it's not showing you. And Peto sounds off.
this is a free advertisement for Pedo.
Yeah, shout out.
Congratulations, guys. You made it.
Yeah, because Petco
Yeah,
is
what is
Petto. You're right.
Peto pals.
Okay.
Petto. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's not great. Yeah, just there's Petco in America, right? Just change it to
That
Petco.
name rolls off the tongue a
does.
little bit better.
Yeah, just a tad. We've got a couple of listener questions as well, if that's okay, from some of our loyal Patreons. Dean has asked a question for you, LA. He said, obviously in the last couple of years, there's been a bunch of clips have popped up of you being on random TV shows or commercials and stuff. What's your favorite or most memorable spot of those you've done?
Ooh, maybe one of my first ones doing the Audi commercial. Is that was the first opportunity to really get a real payday, going in and doing this silly dancing in the aisles and having a speaking role and oh my gosh, hey, I'm gonna be on TV and it's commercial nationwide. It's crazy. So probably that one, but I mean, I don't know. Then again, you're getting to hang out with Terry Crews for a little bit.
I was going to say,
doing
the Brooklyn Nine-Nine one has
Nine-Nine.
to be up there, right?
Yeah, I mean that was pretty cool. Honestly, when I did the lizards thing on Animal Planet, that was kind of cool. Except it was scary as hell because one of the lizards, they had a bunch of them on set just to kind of switch them out every now and then, and I had to hold one of them and just pet it. And one of them was nice and calm. Then they put one of them. I noticed when the guy grabbed it, he had a special glove on. I was like, why do you need the glove to get this one? And you're just going to put it up on my lap? And he went to put it on my lap, and the second he put it down, it started coming right up at me, and he had to grab it off. He's like, okay, no, not that one. So, there have been some experiences.
Yeah, Grace was actually in a Pet-O commercial earlier in the
Oh, the Peto commercial. Oh,
Yeah, they didn't pay very well.
Maybe that's why you can't go within 50 yards of a school.
Oh, don't do that again to me. That's the second time. That's the second time, and I tell you what, there won't be a fifth time.
Shunter has asked for both of you.
Oh, Shunter. Bloody Shunter, mate.
Big Penrith fan. He would have loved the footage this morning. He's asked, have either of you ever tried a move once or twice and then thought, nope, not doing this again?
Constantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's your
I
most
guess-
memorable one that didn't work?
One of the worst ones, I always try and do something innovative or cool. I remember once I saw this guy did a 360 elbow drop, and it looked so cool, and I was like, I can definitely do that. And I went into the ring at the PC and landed on my head and was like, never mind, never again. Because that's sometimes with these moves. Some of them look so easy to do, and then you try and do them, and it's a little bit more difficult.
Are you staying upright and going 360,
No,
or are you going
like a
over?
It's like a side, like a barrel roll almost.
That's a nice way to pop a shoulder for sure.
Yeah.
I bet. I don't know. Probably. I've been doing this so damn long.
A chop.
Maybe. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, I keep my stuff kind of, as simple and effective as I can. But yeah, I'm sure there's probably things that I've junked along the way.
And Jeremy's asked, I'm curious about their character work. Wrestlers tend to call each other by their kayfabe names. Their online presence seems to always be in character. Is it a conscious choice to slip in and out, or do they turn it on and off? How difficult is it to pivot when your character's motivations change? And is it tiring always being on?
What the hell kind of literary novel-ass question is this?
This guy definitely lives on Twitter with that type of question.
Yeah, for real. Look, congratulations to you being a top Patreon, something, whatever you are. But I don't know what you're talking about. For me, I like to keep everything pretty close to the. How would you say it? Close to the hip.
Blur the lines of.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. LA Knight is
a douchebag
what you
in
see.
real life.
We're not talking about Grayson Waller right now.
Well, we know that. I mean,
so look, LA Knight is basically an extension of me, as much as it can be, and so that way there's not really much to blur.
Yeah, and I don't think I never use the word character.
Dude, I tell people all the time, you're yourself.
But I think the best superstars, the biggest names, are themselves. They always say it's an extension of yourself, turn up to 10 and all those type of things. But it's true. Like a lot of the biggest names are just themselves, because then you're not acting. Now you're not playing a character. You're just being yourself. You don't have to. I have to get in character. I have to be a method actor or whatever. You just go out and you're just yourself. And I think the crowds respond to that a lot more too.
Well, I've always said for the most part, when I'm out, when I'm in the arena, it's pretty much. If you took the party version of me and the argumentative version of me and put them together, that's basically what I am. But how would you not be when you're in an arena with tens of thousands of people and I'm in a hostile situation? So in that scenario, it would almost it's like a giant party, but I'm also having this whole encounter. So yeah, I mean it's me as much as it can be.
All right, I think we're out of time. But Grayson, what can people expect from you in Perth?
I'm going to go viral. That's all I'll say. We don't know the matches and things like that, but I'm going to do whatever.
He's not
it takes.
asking what you're going to do in your personal life.
No. I'm not going to root. You learnt that word today. You were very proud of that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make sure people remember Grayson Waller after that show.
And you're
asking me the same question?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, he's going to spread his virus around, and I'm basically going to just look.
Give him a wide berth.
Huh?
Just stay away from him.
Yeah, of course. But look, this is already a little too close. But look, you're talking about, again, a big show, Elimination Chamber. It's the road to WrestleMania. It's the prelude to WrestleMania. And so it's going to be a big one. I'm looking to come in. We got Royal Rumble right around the corner. It's me. It's Roman Reigns. It's AJ Styles. It's Randy Orton. And there's one man who can come out WWE champion. And I think you're looking at him. And what that means is then I can roll into Perth, WWE champion, Elimination Chamber. Yeah, there can be no other way.
I think a lot of people would enjoy that. All right, boys, thank you so much for coming on. Say goodbye, Grayson.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, LA.
Goodbye, LA.
And it's goodbye from me.